Hi guys, I hope you're doing great. So tonight I'm gonna be talking, guys, about Mu and the Lemurian civilization. Okay, guys? Tonight I feel super honored to be presenting this information because Lemuria is very close to my heart. And some of this information, guys, is going to be really useful because right now we as humanity are anchoring some of these Lemurian codes. Okay, guys, I decided to divide this video in two parts because there's like a lot of information. Okay, now let's dive in. So, roughly, 600,000 years back in the Earth's timeline. This is not exact, okay, guys? I'm just trying to put you guys, your mind into the Earth's timeline, okay? So 600,000 years back on Earth's timeline, Lemuria was founded, okay, guys? At the geographical level of the globe, let's start seeing the globe. Okay, guys? So at the geographical level of the globe, civilizations worked the same as our cerebral hemisphere. Okay? So the program of the right hemisphere, which was the spiritual software, was developed by the Lemurian civilization in the continent of Mu. Okay, guys? And the program that is the mental universe was developed by Atlantis. Okay, the Atlantean people, the Atlantean civilization. So Mu was the continent that housed the pre-Lemurian civilization that set the frequencies for Lemuria to work and develop the spiritual software. Okay, guys, so Mu was the whole continent, okay? And Lemuria was in one sector of Mu. So Lemuria was a melting pot of races that already had the 12+1 template installed in their DNA, okay? The Lemurians were already fused with their I am presence or spirit. Okay, if you want to know more about this I am presence or your spirit, please make sure to watch the video of Supramona. Okay, that's where it tells you how to connect with this antimatter being part of you. Okay, because your spirit is a real you. Now, what I meant by the 12+1 genetic template is that they had activated the 12 strands of their DNA. Okay, guys? And we use 1+1 because one of these strands is used as a conductor of information, like as a semiconductor. Okay? So the purpose of the Lemurian civilization was to anchor its threefold flame to the atomic body of the planet in order to anchor the frequency of the light of the spirit to the inner sun of Agartha. Its purpose was to ignite its atomic body to anchor that energy in and on the planet. Let's remember that in inner Earth, we have a neutrino generating bomb that works as a sun. Okay, guys? Which is called in what is called the Agarthan network. So inner Earth, guys, it's below below the surface. Okay? There are civilizations, there's literally a lot of another world down there. Okay? And down there, we have a sun, a neutrino generating bomb, okay, inside our Earth. So this Lemurian civilization had to connect their spirit, to anchor their spirit from the source down to the heart of the earth, to this neutrino generating bomb. Okay? This whole process of anchoring the light of the spirit is what we, the new humans, are meant to do. Okay, guys? Genetically speaking, we are the fusion, the new humans, you and me, we are the fusion of the two civilizations, the Lemurian and the Atlantean civilization. So our job now, guys, is to unite those two softwares, to unify that melting pot of information of the mental universe and the spiritual universe. That's what the fifth dimension is. The integration of both hemispheres. By integrating polarities, like the negative and the positive polarities, we jump to what is called to a neutral zone. Okay? And that neutral zone, we call it the fifth dimension. Okay? So in the third dimensions is where we see this game of polarity, the good versus bad. Okay? So when we start to go up in frequency to a different frequency bandwidth, and we start connecting to what's called the fifth dimensions, we see everything as it is in a neutral zone, knowing that we are the light. We have always been the good. So the bad, the negative, let's not call it that, the negative polarity plays a game in this game. Okay? So we do not push that negative polarity. We just observe it and we neutralize these energies. Okay? Because it's not good or bad, you know? There's only the truth of who you are, which is this truth of unconditional love, and the rest is an illusion. Okay, an illusion that is meant to propel you, okay, to become the best version of yourself. That's what we have to do now, okay? To go to that fifth dimension frequency bandwidth, to connect to that frequency bandwidth. We have to integrate the two softwares, starting with the spiritual software, okay? Why? Because since the fall of Atlantis, we got disconnected from the light of the spirit, okay? The light of the spirit is the atomic field that some people call the threefold flame that is located in our heart. That's where we have this spiritual energy. This is where we have this neutrino generating bomb in our hearts, you know, in this energy center. Okay? So our humanity, you and me, has to connect back to the monad or to our spirit, and therefore back into the core of the earth. So we have to anchor this light into ourselves, and then into the heart of the earth. But this is what we're doing now, guys, as a whole human race. That's why there are a lot of things happening out there, so people can awaken to this reality. Okay? Now, let's go back to Lemuria and Mu. The entire continent where Lemuria was settled was called Mu. Okay? M-U. Lemuria was a sector within this continent of Mu that was set to keep the light of the spirit software alive. When Mu and Lemuria were brought to the planet was vibrating in the fifth dimension already. Okay? The races that came to Earth to found Lemuria were Michaelic extraterrestrial races that were already fused to the light of the spirit. Their genetics were already fused to their I am presence, monad or spirit. Part of the project, genetically speaking, was from Alcyon's group in the Pleiades, in this group M45, okay? In this sector M45, sorry. They sent races to the continent of Mu that did not have to evolve. Those races came to bring that Michaelic, that Christ consciousness energy to Earth. Then those races started to have children here on Earth, and the Lemurian civilization started to anchor this light of the spirit into the heart of the Earth. Many races came to be part of this project, okay? One of those races were the Vikings and the Celts, coming directly from the Pleiades. The Vikings in the Pleiades are part of the Celtic civilization of the Mayan star system. They came alongside with more races from other systems like Lyra, all of them to found this civilization called Lemuria. So part of the project, genetically speaking, was from the Pleiadians M45 group. They sent races to the continent of Mu that did not have to evolve. Those races came to bring that Michaelic, that Christ consciousness energy to Earth. Then those races started to have children here on Earth, and the Lemurian civilization started to be created. Many races came to be part of this project, and as I already said, okay, guys, not only the Pleiadians. So now, in order for the Lemurian civilization to ground this software of the light of the spirit, two previous civilizations were on Earth helping the future project of the Lemurian people. Okay? Guys, let's remind ourselves that wiring this civilization into the heart of the Earth is not an easy job, an easy task. Beforehand, we have to elevate, or in this case, to start to go down in the frequencies of the Earth in order to adjust them so that that civilization could start implementing this software. Okay, guys? Now, the name of the first civilization here on Earth before the Lemurian civilization was the Polaris civilization. The second one was the Hyperborean civilization. These like mother civilizations, if you want to call them something, were here to start adjusting the frequencies of the planet so that the Lemurians in the fifth dimensions could start developing this project. Okay? So let's start with the Polaris civilization. We're gonna take like a sneak peek, okay, of this civilization. So the Polaris civilization had humanoids, okay, called the Namlus. When I started to hear this information, guys, I started to tap to this name Namblu, and I could feel the energy, like a high energy coming through me. Maybe I was there, maybe you were as well, okay, guys? But the important thing is that this amazing civilization called the Polaris civilization was here to help these whole projects of Lemuria, okay? And Atlantis after Lemuria. Now, this Polaris civilization was in the 9th dimension and had to be adjusted, and was adjusted, to go down as the 6th dimension. The Earth was adjusted, from the ninth dimension then, so to the sixth dimensions, between those dimensions, so that this civilization could be adapted to Earth. The Namlus prepared the Earth to encode the 144,000 multidimensional frequencies of multidimensional realities. Those humans were the plasma humans, okay? Those humans, guys, did not have a physical body like us, okay? They were in the plasma state. They had no organs and they drew their energies directly from the source. They vibrated on a blue diamond frequency and they did not reproduce biologically, but with thought form, they commanded replication and mitosis. They did it by cloning themselves by their mental command. They clone themselves as many times as they want, okay? Then this civilization comes to an end. There is a glaciation, guys, and the Earth's poles start to change, okay? So we move on to the next civilization, called the Hyperborean humanity beings, okay? So this civilization, guys, built the structure of the Earth, the hardware, okay? So that the new civilization could live and anchor the spiritual software on Earth. The Hyperborean civilization was in the seventh dimensions. After that, there is another glaciation, guys, another pole shift and turning of the planet, okay? So after the glaciation, the Pleiadian extraterrestrials are brought from the Mayan system of Alcyon in the Pleiades, as well as from other systems. Okay, the Pleiadians were not the only ones that came from other planets, from other star systems to come here on Earth to found this Lemurian civilization. So they came here in order to anchor the light of the spirit to the Earth and to prepare through biological reproduction beings that had to be born here on Earth with the objective to anchor the light of the spirit software. Okay, guys? So it is not these extraterrestrial guys, they could not do this project by themselves. Why? Because they had to be part of this Earth planet. So that's why they started to tamper with these genetics, guys, and to start reproducing biologically so they could give birth to these new Lemurian beings that were part of this Earth with this Christ consciousness connected DNA. Okay? So these Lemurians had to be children of the Father, who in this case is God source or the universe, and the Mother, which is Gaia or our planet Earth. Then, guys, the first terrestrial civilization that began to anchor to the core of the Earth, this light of the spirit software, was the Lemurian civilization. They were the first, guys, to anchor this light of the spirit. Okay? An interesting fact was that the geneticists named Onara and Doranken adjusted the Adam Kadmon DNA template and added Earth genetics to it. Okay? They asked for the skin color to be the same color as Mother Earth, which in this case, we're talking about the brown skin. Okay, guys? So these human beings of Earth are born here on Mu. Okay, and in this new civilization called the Lemurian civilization, with their threefold flame activated. Okay, and the only thing that they had to do is to anchor this light of the spirit into the heart of the earth. Okay, the color of the skin of these new genetically modified races was brown skin because they had to be just like their mother earth. There were still some Celtic beings, guys, and other extraterrestrial beings, that you can see them with more light skin, blue eyes, it's a different, okay? But the Lemurians had to have this color because they were supposed to anchor these frequencies, and their mother had to be this Mother Earth. So for me, guys, this is just amazing. When I started to grasp this information, this whole project started to make sense to me. And it hit me, guys, because I was like, okay, so who are these native people, the indigenous people of Earth, like of the Mayans, of the Toltecs, of the Hopis, these all had this brown skin color, because they were part of this previous project called the Lemurian civilization. And what amazes me, guys, is how the system, especially, and I'm not talking about racism, I think it goes further than that, guys. I think these controllers of the earth saw these people, and these people reminded them of this light of the spirit. So they tried to do everything in their power to start, like, in some ways taking them out, and in some ways to suppress them completely. Okay, guys, and I'm not talking about racism. I'm talking about something that goes deeper than that. Because right now, that's why history is really important for us. So we do not repeat those things. Why would I suppress part of me? That's how I see life right now. Because everything is a part of the whole, you know? So, and this is my opinion, this is my perspective, okay? Because when I started to grasp this whole information, guys, everything hit, these controllers, these, however you want to call them, tried so hard, to push them. And most of the indigenous people, not most, but a lot of indigenous people are still alive, guys, and are still living how they were, back then in those years. You can go to the Mayan place, even though there are not a lot of them. you know you can go to Peru, you can go to visit, I don't know, to go see the Hopis, to the Mayans, to the peninsula of Yucatan, and you can go see them, guys. I have talked to people from Mayan heritage, and when I started talking to them, they laugh at this whole mind game that we're playing, that we used to play in these third dimensions. And you see how they live, guys, how they live in community, how they start growing their own food, how connected they are to nature and to everything that surrounds them. For me, it's beautiful, guys. And in this second part of the video, I'm going to start talking how a spiritual teacher from Lemuria started working with these indigenous races, okay? Here in what's called the Americas, the whole American continent. This is not North America, this is not South, the whole Americas. Okay, we can see different civilizations. We can see the Hopis, we can see the Aztecs, we can see the Mayans, we can see, the Toltecs, we can see a lot of indigenous races, okay, that started to working with the Lemurian energies. The Aztecs, I don't think much, but that's an interesting um, race. I'm gonna call race because we have to start talking about Quetzalcoatl. That's another story. Okay. So I'm not going to talk about that right now. I just wanted you to have this new idea of what the Lemurians look like. And of course, there were still extraterrestrial, like the Vikings, these Vikings, light skin, there were as well, guys. But I just wanted to let you know what this civilization was all for. And everything was about the heart, about unity, which is the thing that we're going to start doing, we as human race, we at this human race. Okay, but in my opinion, and this is an opinion, is going to be way better, guys. Why? Because we're going to be fusing the two hemispheres, these two civilizations. So we're going to have this warrior energy of the Atlanteans, but we're going to have this connection to our source that the Lemurians had. So we're not going to be able to get manipulated anymore, but we're going to know how to stand in our own power and how to express this power in a healthy way, but always in sovereignty, which is what we have to do right now as a human race, to start empowering ourselves and to start walking this earth as guardians of this new civilization that is us. Okay, guys? So I am really happy to be sharing all of this information with you, and I hope everything was helpful. Okay? So I'm going to see